Hey guys, you are talking to Ree, where I come to talk to you about what I have either read in the blogs, watched on TV, or heard in these streets. Today it is about what I have watched on TV. We are talking about 90 Day Fiancé, Season 4, Episode 9, 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Let me clarify. So, we have literally moved further along this season, and I'm super proud that I have actually reviewed every episode this season. I told you guys I was going to get more consistent with things, and I'm loving it. I'm loving you guys' feedback on everything. I'm loving, just everything that I'm hearing from you guys, all of the positive remarks, the funny remarks as well. You guys are amazing. If you guys, for the new people, if you like anything that you hear today, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and come back for more. And leave a comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts on things as well. I love hearing from you guys. And I want to keep these things coming. And you guys assist me with continuing on. Because as I said, we're going to grow this channel together. All right, let's get started. Let's get Chris and Jamie out of the way. Chris and Jamie get married. The end. That's literally the end. Like, we see them get married. Both girls look beautiful today. Jamie looked like a knockout. Do you hear me? A straight knockout. And Chris looked great as well. She had her family virtually witnessing everything. And it was a beautiful, nice little ceremony. So I'm kind of shocked, honestly, that they actually did get married. Because to me, it seemed like Chris was trying to find every way to run herself back to Alabama, to get whatever fix of drugs that she needed to get fixed. Okay. Well, and again, allegedly, just my opinion. But, regardless, they end up getting married and we are happy for them. Let's move on to Mahmoud and Nicole. We end off last episode where Mahmoud was about to break Nicole's arm for her pushing her as hard as she did in the middle of the streets of Egypt, okay? So he told her last episode, listen, let's take this inside, come back home, let's go home, this and that. And she's like, no, I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm staying here. Leave me alone. He goes, if I leave, we're getting a divorce. She goes, leave. Like, go away. I keep telling you to leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay. This man decides to leave her alone. Well, guess what happens? Nicole starts crying this episode. Why? Because Mahmoud left her alone. That's right, guys. She didn't mean it. So now she's like, well, why would he leave me knowing that I'm in a foreign country, this and that? Well, I mean, you kept telling him to leave you alone, girl. Well, luckily for Mahmoud, he has a very concerned older brother who says, listen, you cannot leave your wife out here regardless of what's going on. We got to go back. We got to get her. The brother goes and speaks to us and tells us that, listen, Mahmoud has never been in a relationship. He probably lost his virginity to Nicole. Like, never even had a girlfriend, never dealt with a girl a day in his life, right? All of this is new to him. He does not have a father figure at home because his father left his mother. So the only father figures that he has, or male figures, shall I say, that he has, is his uncle and his older brother. So the brother tells him, listen, we're going to go back. We're going to get your wife. He goes and speaks to Nicole and he lets her know, listen, you are family. You are my sister. There's no way we're going to leave you out here. And, my mood was wrong. And if you want, I can go and bring him to speak with you, or you could just come back with me and I take you back to your home. So she goes and she says, bring Mahmoud. Mahmoud goes and speaks. They're talking. And bottom line, they say, look, I'm not changing for the other, right? Like, Mahmoud is like, I am an Egyptian man. I'm not changing. Dakota's like, I'm an American woman. I am not changing. Okay. What are we doing here then? Nicole, go home. We have been telling you this for the last 8 episodes. Go home, right? Neither one is going to change. So she says, well, you know what? When I go home, I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going to get back to America, the country that I actually want to reside in and that I want to be right now, okay? The rest of us, the viewers, I'm sure we were all just clapping like, yes, finally this girl goes home. But no, Mahmoud's brother talks her out of it and it's just like, listen, you guys are acting off of emotion. Go home, sleep, rest on it. The very next day, they go out to eat. They go out hanging out with Mahmoud's brother and sister-in-law, right? So Fatima is like, hey, the first couple of years of our relationships, we argued all the time as well, right? Like, this is what Fatima, the sister-in-law, is saying. But my thing is this. Fatima, we need to elaborate more on what those arguments were about, right? Because based on what we see, the fact that you have fully converted to Islam, the fact that you have learned the language and all of these things, I doubt that, you just weren't willing. You were just having a hard time. Nicole is not willing. Nicole, this whole marriage was off of impulse. Okay, Nicole is an impulsive person. She met this guy. 3 days later, he proposes to her. A few days after that, they get married. And tells him, yeah, I'll convert to Islam without knowing anything about Islam. Nothing about it. Okay? So, let Nicole go home. Like, I get that you guys are trying to save your brother's marriage, but this needs to be a marriage that is worth saving. Let these people go their separate ways for the love of Christ or the love of Allah, whoever, all right? Like, let them go home. Okay, we move on. We get to Jen and Reese, all right? So, Jen's visa is reinstatement, and she is looking forward to heading back to India to be with Reese. Not so fast, though, one of her girlfriends says. Hey, this same girlfriend that told her before she left the last time, yeah, Reese actually fell for the bait that I sent through social media. Well, now this time she says Reese was actually trying to come on to me and send me half-naked photos and was trying to meet up with me. What? What? Here's my thing. I have never been so concerned about one of my girlfriend's relationships since I was a child. In my adult years, I do not care about any of my girlfriend's relationships to that extent, regardless of who they're with. The only time that I will voice my opinion in some run is if there is domestic violence involved. If domestic violence is not involved, I mind my business. This girlfriend of Jen is too freaking involved. This girl goes and says that, yeah, he was trying to come on to me. But here's the story, guys. She presented herself as a model from an American modeling agency, this type of ordeal, right? So now she's trying to relate to him on some, hey, you and I, we do the same thing. Because as you guys know, Reese is a model in India. Okay, he's a well-known model in India. So she tries to reach out that way. She convinces him because she says, the text message shows where she says, send me a pic. And mind you, the text message shows where he mentions about the agency. Okay? There's nothing in there that says, oh, you're so beautiful to me. Oh my goodness, like I can't wait to see you. None of that. She says sends a pic. He sends her a pic of what? One of his modeling pic. The same modeling pic that is on his page that he posted in 2017, guys. Okay? He sent her that pic showing. Look, this is one of my modeling pics. And she takes that as if you would have thought that he sent her a penis pic. You would have thought that he sent one of the private pics of him getting out of, like a video of him out of the shower saying her name or something. Like, I don't know. Like, the way she presented it, when the message, at least a little bit that she showed, told us nothing. It told us nothing. And if there was something more to it, the TV, the producers would have showed that. There was nothing there. And Jen, instead of saying to her, listen, well, I remember the last time you showed me something, there was nothing really there. Send me these messages. Send me everything. Right? Jen immediately is like, look, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. She was like, yeah, he was trying to meet up with me. In reference to modeling agency, like, I don't know, like, what's going on. And I want to be clear, right? Like, let me stop rambling or whatever. Do I think that Reese is a playboy? Abso-freaking-lutely. The fact that he wasted Gentown for 2 years, yes, he is a playboy, right? His own friend thinks that he is a playboy just by the fact that she says, listen, every time I see you are around tons of women. Every single time. Swarmed with them. And you mean to tell me that in these years you haven't dealt with any of them? You were never attracted to any of them? He's like, no, never. Reese, bye. We don't believe you. Neither does your very own friend, right? So my thing is do I think that Reese is a person for Jen? No. But do I think that Jen's friend was doing too much? Absolutely. Do I think that Jen's friend should mind her business? Absolutely. Do I think that he was trying to hit on Jen's friend based on the story that she's saying? No. No, 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 no. Okay? I need a little bit more of that. But it doesn't change the fact, as I said, Reese is still a playboy. So let's move on. Let's get to Isabel and Gabriel. We left off last episode with Gabriel speaking to Isabel's parents and telling him that he is transgender, right? Okay, so the parents this episode at the beginning of it, they are left speechless. But they come around and the mom is like, listen, it's what's on the inside that count. I still like you. The father's like, listen, you're still welcome in my home. I am kind of shocked and surprised. I do got tons of questions for you, but you know what? Who am I to judge? All right. Cool. They hug it out. I am in tears. I'm happy for Gabriel. But Gabriel gets home and he starts to think, and he's like, thinking about his past experiences. He's like, listen, I've never met people that are very religious. They're just so open just right off the back, right? So he's a little bit skeptical. He has Isabel go and speaks to her parents again. So Isabel goes and speaks to her mother. And Lord and behold, the mother says, when Isabel says, hey, if Gabriel wanted to marry me, would you be okay with that? The mother says, well, you guys should wait on marriage and get to know each other better. Now, these are the same parents that just last episode was bragging about, oh, we love Gabriel. You know what? The fact that he's moving here means that the relationship is going forward. Like one of the best guys we've ever met, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Now, all of a sudden, get to know a little bit more. Maybe you guys should wait, right? I don't think that the parents are completely on board with this. But they are still, but it doesn't mean that they're not loving parents. It doesn't mean that they are, internet trolls looking to condemn Gabriel for being transgender. No, but I don't think that they are necessarily on board with this, but they're still going to let their daughter make her decision, right? She is grown. The grandkids love them, so forth, right? But they're not necessarily like, oh yeah, like we're totally right off the back for this. But we still like him though, right? I think that that's where it is. And sometimes you just got to be okay with that. Not everybody is going to be like, oh yeah, sure, right? Especially if that's not how they were raised. I was more appreciative of the fact that they didn't turn him away, that they still showed him love, right? That to me stood out to me, right? But they are still willing to let their daughter make the decision. They're not saying, hey, step away from him. You don't need to be with him. He's transgender, this and that. No, they're just like, now we're just not so sure about this whole marriage thing, right? I don't know. I do hope that they come around, to be honest with you. But it does feed into the skepticism that Gabriel was expressing. So there's that. We move on to Yohan and Danielle. We already know that Danielle is insufferable, right? But you know what? But this episode, there are a couple of things that had me looking at Yohan a little side eye as well, and we'll get to it. So we start off with Danielle introducing Yohan to her religion, this divination sort of ordeal. Like, I don't know. She introduces him to Baba and Baba's assistant, right? So Baba starts to, chant and so forth. And then at the end of the chant, he's like, okay, right, whatever spirits that he summoned up, he goes, look, I've been told that you need to keep away from bones and fish, Yohan. Okay, Yohan, take my advice, stay away from bones and fish. And Yohan is looking like, what? Yeah, no. So Danielle is like, so what do you think? And he's like, I think I'm going to go ahead and stick to my religion. And before she can even get into her rant of how childish she is, like she's always complaining about something, before she can get there, the lights goes off in their place. And he's just like, well, I thought that you paid the light bill. And she's like, why wouldn't you tell me that this bill was due anyway? Like, why wouldn't you of any of these things? And here's my thing with Yohan. Yohan, okay, she's clearly paying the bills there. We already know you're not contributing there. Food, she's paying. And now simple light, you can't even pay, right? Yohan, for you to demand so much, you got to at least be willing to show us something, right? Because even a housewife still knows that, okay, my job is not just to sit on my behind. My job is, okay, let me maintain the home. The home is clean when the man comes back, or, the bills, she's keeping up with the bills that are due and different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course he's providing the money to her, but she's keeping up with these things. Yohan, you have already said that you're not cooking and cleaning because that's a woman's job. Yohan, so you can't even keep up with what it's due to even tell her, hey, this is what it's due. And it's like, what are you, I don't know, but it makes it. I'm not saying that Danielle has a right to go and constantly put you down. That's not what I'm saying, because at the same time, she signed up to be with you. But what I'm saying is that many women would have a hard time being submissive to a man that is not really leading in any way. And that is beyond finance. That is just in any way. Like, what decision is it that you are making for your family? Like there's no type of leadership outside of I'm the man and you did this and you I'm kind of confused on Yohan's stance. So that part kind of had me looking at him sideways. But we move on. Danielle, due to her lack of respect for him and her not actually viewing him as a human being. Again, let me be clear. This does not give Danielle the right to disrespect Yohan, because you signed up for this, baby girl. But she goes and says to him, hey, I want you to now go and meet my ex, who's not really my ex. It's really just a guy that I was like literally having sexual relationships with. But he's my friend. Well, he's not really my friend. It's really just a guy that I speak with from time to time through social media. Okay, through each other inbox. That's how we keep up with one another. All right, and there's no friendship there. So now the guy is like, hey, well, I'm going to be in the Dominican Republic. I want to meet you and your guy. And she's now forcing this upon him even after he said, I'm uncomfortable with this. And that this is very disrespectful and you don't respect me. Well, Yohan, she doesn't respect you. Which is unfortunate, but again, there's still some roles that you got to step in on. However, though, regardless, Danielle, you do not have the right to now go and say, well, you know what, now I'm going to bring whoever I want up around you, including a man that I used to lay in the bed with. Okay? The man had told you he's uncomfortable with it, and you're still going to force this down his throat for a man that is not even technically your friend. What are we talking about here? Okay? But you both signed up for this. Like, you signed up for a sugar mama, and, she signed up for a man with a big penis that, can't contribute to nothing but what's in the bedroom. Okay? And the fact that he stands nearly 2 feet taller than you. That's the most. Okay? So we move on. That is the end of this review. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys think that Yohan should step up more? Like, I'm trying to understand as far as what exactly is that he is contributing. But do you guys also feel like, regardless of the stepping up, that doesn't give Danielle the right to be now forcing, ex play toys in his face, right? Like, what are your thoughts there? Do you guys think that Gabriel should be okay with the family still, accepting him in the home and loving on him and still not telling the daughter, hey, leave him? Or do you think that the family should immediately, that he should be upset if the family is not on board for this marriage or not, right? Like, I don't know as far as that go. I think that it's one of these things where we just got to give them time. I think that even them saying, hey, let's hold off on the marriage and give time to know each other. I think it's the parents that are like, that basically means give us time. Give us time to get to know him. That's what I think they should have said, instead of you need more time to get to know him, because Isabel knows him. Okay? Even the kids know him. Y'all just are trying to come around to him being transgender, but he is still the same person that was treating your daughter with the utmost respect. So there's that. Okay, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Can't wait to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys and talk to you guys next time. Bye.